Hey guys, this is Miss Hunt, and this is the week of September 21st for Honors Biology. So I'm going to go into our Google Classroom, and we have some information about virtual students. If you are a virtual student and you want to come back, there's a note right here for you to start rejoining us face to face. You got to call the school. Here's our phone number right here. And talk to someone about coming back. So that's what we're starting the process of. A lot of my kids are doing really well, and you're keeping up with your work, and I'm really proud of you. But if you're starting to feel like you want to come back, then that's a good idea. Start making plans to transition back in. So that's on there. Honestly, in my classroom, I've got lots of seats that are still available, and that's still with spacing. So I'm happy to start to think about us trying to get back together. All right, I'm going to go on the classwork side. And let's roll to Module 3 is where we were last week. So this is stuff you're turning in for me. I've got the cell theory song up here. It's pretty catchy, and if you haven't memorized the 3 parts of the cell theory, that should help. Remember your work that you were turning in to me last week. You had a Nearpod to get done last week. You were reading out of the textbook, but there was no work here. You watched videos, but there was no work here. You had 1 Jamboard, which looks like most kids have gotten turned in, so that's great. And then you had 2 quizzes, a vocab quiz and then a regular quiz. So that's what we had assigned for last week, and hopefully you're getting that turned in to me. Remember, the day you come to class is the day it's due. If you're a 7th period kid, your work is due Tuesday if you're virtual. And if you're a 6th period kid, you're in virtual, your work is due Thursday. All right, so this goes into Module 4, and that's this week. As I always try to make things better for you, I tried doing this so that you know that this is an assignment. So these are the items that you have to actually do for me this week. We have some notes here that I'm not going to go through because the notes are parts of the cell, and we're going to learn the parts of the cell in a little bit different way, and I'm going to help you with that in just a minute. But what I want you to do is go through this PowerPoint. Go through it at home and practice going through your organelles. So that's what we're going to be learning today, is all the organelles inside of these cells. So take some time to go back over that. You have a reading this week. This is a document. I'm going to click on here. This is PDF readers. So you need to use or open with, and yours will have a little drop-down menu up here that says open with, and you want to choose this little purple thing. It's called the Read Write PDF reader. Mine pops up automatically because I've been using it over and over. Once you open it with the Read Write PDF reader, it'll pop up automatically too. What this does is it allows you to click a highlight, and you can highlight in the text. So let's talk about reading for a purpose. When we read for a purpose, we are reading to pick up the key words. So for example, right here in this first sentence, there's a bold underlined word, so that lets me know this is an important sentence. The environment inside the plasma membrane is semi-fluid material called cytoplasm. So I have to think about, what am I really wanting to know? Well, that this is inside is important. So I would probably highlight inside, plasma membrane, and I would probably highlight semi-fluid material, and I would highlight cytoplasm. Ooh. So my eyes catch inside plasma membrane, semi-fluid material, cytoplasm. So as I'm going back through my notes, my eyes are just picking up on those key things that I've highlighted. I didn't highlight all of it. The next 3 sentences are good, but they're not key information. Scientists once thought the organelles of eukaryotic cells floated freely in the cell cytoplasm. Okay. As technology improved, scientists discovered more about the cell structure. They discovered the structure within the cytoplasm called cytoskeleton. It's bolded. That lets me know it's an important word. Cytoskeleton is a network of long, thin protein fibers that provide an anchor for organelles in the cell. So probably what I would highlight is cytoskeleton, long, thin protein fibers. And what do? Anchor organelles inside cell. I might even cut out the word "the." Again, I'm giving my eyes something to go back to look at. All right, so you'll highlight your text just like this, just like I've done. Ooh, I highlighted everything, okay? And then the other thing you're gonna do is down here in this area, you're gonna answer the question. So you can get the typewriter key and click in here, and notice like you can move this around so you can be right on the lines, and then you can type your answers to the questions as you read it. So you're going to read and highlight this whole document for me, and go through it and read with a purpose so that I know that you're reading it and getting the right information. Okay? All right, what else do we have today? Okay, I've got a thing for Khan Academy. So when you click into Khan Academy, and I saw there's 3 people who've already done this. This is great. All right, Khan Academy has these videos, and then it gives you practice. And I love their practice questions. And they're really quite simple. Like this one is just the parts of the cell and basic structures. Easy, one question. So after you do this one, you go to the next lesson. This is the second part. You watch the video.
Model. Well, if we were to look at a cell membrane, and just to be clear what we're looking at,
okay, we're going to go to the next lesson. All right, again, roll through here, go to the next lesson.
Level, we can categorize it.
Sorry, he's going to start talking. All right, and then there's the overview right here. Okay, so in total, there's 5 little mini lessons to go through. I'm going to exit out before he starts talking again. And those are really helpful, especially if you didn't quite get prokaryotic and eukaryotic, or you need to go back through plant and animal cell. I think those are really great. So make sure you go through and click through. I would think that that could take you maybe 30 to 45 minutes, depending on, where you're at. All right, drawing the cells. That's what we're going to do in class, and I'm going to draw with you. And if you need to, click back here and look at these pictures, because these are some of the drawings that we're going to do in class today. And if you want to pause the video and go ahead and get some paper and get some colors, I recommend 4 or 5 different colors, so you can be able to draw with me as we go through here. But yeah, we're going to draw the plant cell, we're going to draw a bacteria cell, we're going to draw the animal cell. We're going to label all the organelles and tell what they do in the cell. I've given you an interactive cell. I've given you some games. This is a post game to see if you are learning your organelles on quizzes. It's fun. You can take it at home and just practice over and over. All right, you have a worksheet with that PDF reader again, so you can type your answers onto the PDF. You have a CER this week. Let's click into the CER. All right, so this CER says a microscope analysis of a cell shows that the cell is about 1.5 micrometers in size. Further observations show the DNA was present, but was not surrounded by any sort of membrane. The analysis showed that there are only very simple structures, such as ribosomes. No other membrane-bound organelles were present. What type of cell is this? Use the CER format to answer your question. So you're going to write a claim answering the question. This type of cell is it prokaryote, eukaryote? What do you think? Evidence. Give me some evidence in the text. What does it say specifically that tells you that it's prokaryote or eukaryote? And then your reasoning. How do you know, based on the science that you've learned from the textbook, from the websites, from class, what do you know is a reason why that evidence supports that claim? All right, you have one more down here. Use the image above. All right, here's your question. What type of cell is this? So again, is this prokaryote, eukaryote? Some of you might even be able to go even further and tell me if this is a plant. Is this an animal? Is this fungi? Do you think it's a protist? Give me some kind of extra information on here. And again, fill that out the best you can. Okay. All right, and finally you have a quiz. Looks like I've even got one kid already done. The quiz is going to grade when you're finished. So I can go ahead and have that grade in the grade book. And that is what you're doing this week, okay? I am going to stop here, and I'm going to add another video of me doing the drawings. Hope you have a great week.